Hello everyone, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. I have a colors presentation, which is really nice. I love every opportunity to critique. I enjoy it very much, passing on knowledge and even a little bit of wisdom sometimes. But mostly it's competitions, performances of regulation exhibition. But a colors presentation isn't is it's a rare opportunity for me, so I appreciate it. All right, this is Seminole Ridge High School, and awards night, colors presentation. So colors, I know you want to make things look sharp, but we don't execute flanks. We don't execute pivots. You just march round your corners and move in. Okay, so let's see. Oh, and you have those harnesses that I can't stand, but that's just my personal. And I've now pulled a harness out, and I will keep it in here to use as a visual aid. So, this is the harness that I recommend. The harnesses that you have, you can see that the shoulder strap comes around and attaches to the side of the frame here. And that creates a really weird balance issue. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't like it at all. I hate those things. It just feels strange. So anyway, you can see here that the shoulder straps are attached to the upper part, or several inches up, actually, maybe 6 or even 8 inches up from the harness frame. This is called a double harness. That might be called a double harness. I'm not sure exactly. Anyway, but it looks like, because you have your thumbs in front, bad grip. Absolutely the worst grip that you can have. This is the grip that we all should aspire to, at least for Army standards. But this doesn't do anything. And just having your hand like this, it's useless. Honestly, it's an utterly useless grip. However, it's quite possible that you have those. You might have the. I can't tell yet. Hopefully, at some point in the video, we'll be able to see that. But you might have that plastic cup that doesn't. And you're using the wrong staffs, by the way. So you have the plastic cup that doesn't allow for your thumb to move behind the staff. So that's understandable for where your thumb is, but your grips are a little bit different. Your gloves aren't tucked. So that'll be, I tell you what, I'll write down gloves right now. That'll be my next visual aid that I need to get and start talking about. But your gloves aren't tucked, which is, it looks bad. And then you have the state color bearer here with a big chunky watch on, and again, you just need to have the minimum on that. Less is more type of thing, and there's really no need for the watch. I appreciate the wear of the berets. That looks great. But you can see the gloves sticking out. Can you see my cursor? Yes, you can see the gloves sticking out here. And there's the clunky watch, and then the wrist just kind of wrinkled and falling down. It just doesn't really look good. All right, then we have, so excuse me, and we have a shorter commander and then a taller state bearer. Fine, not a big deal, but her harness. Oh, so let me go back to let me go back to this really quickly. I was going to mention that your harnesses really should be worn under the belt, the web belt that you have. I'm glad that all of you have the web belt on. That's awesome. But when you have the frame that has the material attached to the side, it's almost impossible. You can see here, almost impossible to get it to wear it underneath the belt. there, the web belt. Although it's possible for him, it's almost impossible for her. Whereas if if you had the harness like I have, like I was just showing you, it's much easier to wear under the belt, and you should wear it under the belt. So what you have here, though, is the American flag purposefully higher than the state flag, and that's not a thing. So in the training circular, it actually makes mention of keeping the harness sockets at the same height so that the flags are carried at the same height. It's just one little tiny sentence, and it just happens to be practically a footnote under one of the images. I'll tell you what, I will reference that right now. I'll look it up. Okay, so on this is the 3 May 2021 edition with all the weird looking cartoons in there. So on page 15-14 on let's see, it's paragraph 1534. It says the second sentence is, the socket is below the waist and adjusted to ensure that the finials of all colors are of equal height. There you go. So there, that means sockets have to be at the same level. Now, when you have a situation to where there is a huge height difference of or even a waist level difference of the color bearers, then you know, the adjustment of the colors harness sockets minimally to make the American flag carried a little bit higher, as I said, minimally, that's fine, not a big deal. However, this doing this purposefully to make sure that the American flag is higher, that's not a thing. That's the American flag must always be higher is a myth, an absolute myth. So you should have light ash wood staffs with the flat silver spade. That's in AR 840-10. Yeah, 840-10, Army regulation. You have good carry technique, though, with right hands and then left hands at the socket there. I'm really eager to see what that socket looks like. Then guard here, great split with the fingers, and then have it keeping that donut. Don't have a split over here, really should. His fingers are completely together, so really need to have that split there at the butt of the rifle. So the fingers look like this at the butt, and then you have that donut that you create with your index finger and thumb. And both flags have fringe. That's great. Got a bit of an angle there with the rifle. Instead of it going straight back, it's he really needs to pull butt left. Okay. Moving the head, their left rifle guard. And then here you have a flat hand, and it looks like his hand is actually in front of the sling. So I'll grab my 1903 here. What you want, my sling isn't tight, but what you want is this. You want to wrap your fingers. Now, since I'm a bit taller, then my fingers aren't going to wrap around like this. That's not the standard. That's not what we're looking for. But however tall you are, then you're going to wrap your fingers around some way, just a little bit. But having them flat like that, and then also having it, you're doing this as well with your hand. So you have that L shape with your fingers. You have an L shape not only here with your wrist, but also with your fingers. And so that's not the technique. It really should be as neutral a wrist as possible. You're going to have a little bit of a bend in there, but then flaring the fingers out, you really need to keep them wrapped, even slightly wrapped around the small of the stock. Oh, so no anthem, no No pledge. Okay, that's fine. Oh, maybe it was cut out. All right, so that was a little bit sloppy movement there. You really need to have a much more precise movement of port, grab, place, and cut, instead of just kind of a. It was, I precision really is lacking in the movement there. Okay. Oh, so you're gonna split post. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. So here, the commands are fine. That's not a problem. A split post can be a little bit difficult. Here it doesn't really look like you have the room. I mean, I need to go back and just see where you are. Oh yeah, you do. You have a little bit of room. Oh, that's probably a. Oh yeah, that's where you started. So it's an incline, just a ramp up to the stage there. I see. So you could have the guards are on the outside. That's fine. That's really good. So what you could have done is with the stand here, you could have faced at an angle inward so that you could see each other. But this is fine, honestly. Split posts aren't explained anywhere, and I could take you through a whole explanation here, but we're going to save some time. So really what you need to do, you don't have the proper staffs, you don't have the proper finials. And like I said, you really need to have those. But here, your flag is facing the wall, and you should have turned the flag around and then draped the fringe so that it's off to your right, color bearer. Good. She's going to give right face, and you're going to go off. That's great. So yeah, those are. I hate those slings. Absolutely hate, not the slings, the colors harnesses. Those plastic cups are just junk, honestly, and they have that little badge or shield looking frame, and not not the rectangular frame. I just don't like them. And that's just my personal preference. You can keep them for whatever, but at least I gave you some reasoning as to why I can't stand them. So let's go back to the belt wear. The belt needs to be over the third the bottom button. So we have the three buttons here, and the bottom button is covered by the belt buckle. That's exactly the way it's supposed to be worn. This isn't the way it's supposed to be worn. The belt is below all four buttons, and most likely it's worn on his waist over the uniform belt. That's not what this belt is supposed to do. And here, same thing. I don't know about her. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks like it's probably over the fourth. So she's wearing it at her waist. You can see her waist. She has more of an hourglass type of figure, so it's exactly where it needs to be. And then for the two guys here, state bearer and then left rifle guard, you have to move that belt up. And I know it seems a little odd to wear something pretty much just below your rib cage instead of down just above your hip bones, but the intention of wearing a blouse and then putting a belt over it is that you cover that last button, or if you have like the Air Force uniform, you have the three buttons, then it goes in between the bottom two buttons. So there's a wear issue right here, and it doesn't, the team looks sharp, really looks great. However, there's a couple of minor issues that need to be taken care of. and they're going to march off, and they're done. So, well done. So that was, look at those trophies. Holy cow. That's fantastic. So the team did a fine job. Honor was kept and maintained, and the team did a good, essentially a basic posting sequence, and that's just fine. That's exactly what I would expect. Like I was saying earlier, a split post really isn't explained anywhere, and so maybe one day I'll make a presentation and show everybody examples of split posts, because they can be a little unnerving because of the locations of the stands. So, and there's very many differences with posting in front of the stands, posting with a little bit of a split, a huge split, posting behind the stands. It's involved. So anyway, well done, Hawk Battalion Color Guard. That was a good job. Couple of things to tighten up and get some new staffs, please. But other than that, well done. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for the request for the critique. I hope my comments have been helpful. Thanks.